Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Madelyne Woods with Just Like Us. Today, I'm talking to Lolita Walker of Walker & Walker Enterprises. She is a change champion for women.
I am here to hook you up.
Lolita is not your typical life coach or leadership consultant. She is at the forefront of a movement that empowers women to embrace their challenges and triumphs, act in their strengths, and thrive in the greatness that lives within them.
So as women, what we don't do is take time to pause. We invest in everybody else, and we rarely take time for ourselves. And so there always needs to be a time for you to refresh, rejuvenate, and renew yourself.
She's a single mother who quit her high-powered corporate career less than a year ago, stepped out on faith, used her own savings to finance her dream to launch this new venture as a change champion because she believes it's not only her passion, but her gift. Through private coaching, retreats, and workshops, Lolita motivates and trains women who feel like they've lost themselves to recapture those moments when they felt like they were living their best lives ever.
And it's really staying focused on what is right in front of you. So when you're running your race, if you look to the left, if you look to the side, if you look to the right, if you look to the back of you, what happens? You get unfocused, you get distracted, and you fall. You fall behind what you know is your greatness. And for that reason alone, I talk about affirming it, being it, doing it, knowing it. So your faith is going to guide you. Your affirmations are going to guide you. Your strengths and everything you know, they will guide you.
Lolita Walker, change champion for women. Welcome to Just Like Us. You know, it has to be an honor for your work to be described as boosting positivity, self-knowledge, and empowerment for women. How does that make you feel?
Amazing is the one word that is short of greatness. You know, I'm just so blessed. I believe in God. I know that God has put me in this place, in this space, and to be able to articulate my vision and empower women to become everything that they already are is simply phenomenal. I'm all in.
Tell me about the type of woman you help. What is she like? What is she going through in her life? What's happening with her?
Excellent. So I partner with women who are busy women, everyday women, busy women who struggle with finding that pause to simply breathe, right? We are super women by nature. We are managing our households. We are competing with men in corporate America.
Yes.
We are doing over and beyond in order to break a glass ceiling. So that woman is who I am here to remind. You are greatness. You are power. Pause for a moment. Recollect yourself.
Yeah.
And what I do is I help her to really get clear. Let's get a clarity statement so that you have a goal on where you're going to be. Because otherwise, because we are power women, we forget about us and then we can't take care of others. So take a step back, breathe, let's recollect, let's reposition, and let's go.
You just described my normal.
Yes.
Taking care of everybody else, thinking about everybody else, trying to hold my things together. How do I even get on the path to change? How do I recognize that I need it?
Absolutely. So what you are describing is you have to be ready to receive. There's people who find it tough to say, yes, I need a change champion, which is what I call myself, a change champion for women.
Okay.
I don't know that I need that. So when you know you need it is when you recognize that you already know you need to pause and you need, because that's what you're supposed to do. You know that, but you haven't found time to do it. So I take you through 5 steps. What I do is I start off with, let's manage your transition, because what I define change as is anything that is different than your status quo. Okay? Your everyday, your day-to-day, when something shifts inside of that space, that is a change. That's already happened. So I don't want you to focus on that there. Yes, it's disruptive. Yes, it's emotional. It happened. So we're going to start from here and we're going to manage the transition, because what you can control is how you realm in that space, how you navigate through that circle. Okay, and that's what I help you with.
What you're describing then is that something almost traumatic has happened.
Yeah.
Where I now have to change or I now have to adjust. Is it always that situation?
No. So let me describe it. Perfect question. So it could be a divorce, which might be traumatic, right, to you. It could be that you have a new boss that has come into your station, someone new, a new CEO, new leadership that has now disrupted the family situation that you have here. That is a change that's happening in your life. It could be traumatic, like my dad has passed away. And then I'm also trying to deal with everything else, so I haven't had an opportunity to pause. It's anything that is a shift in your everyday.
Even if it's good. I remember
Absolutely.
reading Beyonce said that her mother told her, you have to stop to pause because everything had happened so fast. Things had changed so much in her life that she wasn't really living in the moment and appreciating it.
Yes.
So even though her change was positive,
Yes.
she could have benefited from working with you.
Absolutely. Come on now, Beyonce. Yes, but absolutely, because what I do is I help people through challenges, and their triumphs. So I want to champion you for that too, because there is that pause. I've started my own business in less than a year. I am just excited of where I am, that sometimes I have to pause and look around and say, this is your brand. I am sitting here with Madelyne Woods, right? This is amazing. And you have to take those moments to appreciate them and to be grateful. And that's why a lot of my program is really structured around affirmations. I am powerful. I am an expert in my field. I am phenomenal.
Yes.
Yes.
I love
and
the
when you can
affirmation.
say that to yourself in the mirror every day, not just say it, but believe it and claim it, not only for what you are now, but for where you want to be. Because I am a money magnet. Not there yet, but guess what? I am a money magnet.
It's coming.
And it is coming, and I know it in every single thing I do, because I have my vision board on my wall. And every day I look at that and I affirm my greatness, because by the end of 2018, I will be a published author.
Lolita's clients benefit not only from her limitless energy and validation, but from strategies she creates to help them refocus and restore structure to their busy everyday lives. One of her most powerful techniques is self-affirmation.
I am beautiful. I am Audrey F. Bennett.
I am a prayer warrior. Yes. And I am definitely enough.
Yes!
But wait, Lolita, is it really that simple? I just have to wake up every morning and just affirm how phenomenal I am, and my
Girl.
whole life is going to change. It's really that simple.
I would say nothing is simple. What I would say is that we need to start at the foundation of you. And that's where I start. So the simplicity starts there. It is a journey. So let's just say that the journey is not simple. The steps to get there are absolutely simple. So let's start with the simplicity of, yes, the foundation is you. We're going to start with your affirmation. So let me tell you one of the things. I do a creed in the morning and I do an affirmation. I'll
Okay.
share my creed with you, which is something I also do at my retreats. Girl, so much to talk about. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the listeners out there, I'll ask you to close your eyes, and I'll ask you to close your eyes. And what I will say to you is, believe in your strengths and open your mind to now explore. Expect moments to have meaning that propel you to soar. Experience the unexpected, what you would normally let pass by. Embrace the renewed you who is now free to fly. Be free and open your eyes. You are free. I am Lolita Emmanuel Walker, and I am free.
Good Lord.
It is deep, but if you listen to those words,
Yeah.
and I didn't even say the whole thing because a matter of time, but those words spell out be free. And what I do when I write affirmations for people, I start just with, where are you? Where do you want to be? What is happening in your life that might be challenging? And let me write you an I am that you are going to say every single day, and you are going to
Wow.
profess and get over the hump that you think you're at now, because you're already there. I'm just going to help build the confidence back in you in the greatness that you are.
That is phenomenal, because so many times when you go to seek help, it's this cookie cutter approach. But you're customizing
Yes.
everything that you do specifically to that person.
Yes.
And that's why you're so successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I found my niche, and this is it.
Yeah.
You know, before my dad passed away, when I was small, actually, he said to me, you just need to be an author. That's what you need to do. You need to go to school for writing. And I didn't. I graduated undergrad industrial engineering. Far from it, right?
Yeah.
But I wrote poetry all the time, and it's just amazing that this gift is now back.
Well, I think it was a skills transfer, because even as an engineer, you're creating, you're putting things together,
Yes.
you're building something.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was just a simple skills transfer.
Absolutely.
You got back to where you were supposed to be.
Amen. Yes, I believe it. I believe it.
When I think about this transformation you're describing for
Yes.
women, the women that you help, is there any kind of psychological stimulation that you do with them? I mean, how do you get to the core of what a person is to be able to help them?
Yeah, we talk about things like, what are your fears? Okay. And, people just start to say stuff. Then we dig in and ask why. When you really get to the crux of it, that's that clarity. That's that understanding the context. And it's very emotional. The process that I take you through is emotional. And that's okay. That's okay. But when we dig down to it, we can then form what I call a clarity statement. And once you have that, now let's start working. Now that we've dug deep, and we know where you want to be, because it's not easy to define that, honestly. Even if you come to my retreat, one of the things we do after the vision board is let's get clear and let's make a clarity statement. And after we draw that, and that takes the longest time, after we get clear on that, guess what? This is where the magic starts. Now let's sit with you. What are your fears to get there? Okay? Let's talk about that. What are your strengths? At the last retreat, we had everyone go around the room. You've only known each other for one day. Tell me the strength about her. Let's go around. And if I ask you what your strengths are now, you'll have some, but you'll struggle a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It takes us a little while to talk about ourselves and big ourselves up, right?
Because my mind is running, like I'm listening to you, and then I have this other track running in my head thinking, what are my strengths? What are my fears? And I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
But imagine 9 other women sitting around the room.
Observing?
Just they've observed you because they've known you for a day.
Okay.
We're here for a weekend. And I ask you, what's her strength? And you have to go around. You have 9 strengths now that when someone asks you, you can say those.
I see.
And what you realize is they might be things that you haven't even discovered is a strength. They might be things you think is a weakness. Reality is someone else's perception. Perception is someone else's reality, right? The beauty of that is now you know that's a strength. And let me tell you why I saw that in you in one day. So now you can add that to your arsenal of strengths and now affirm that every day.
Okay. You have a quote on your website that says, change is situational, transition is psychological. So I'm listening to you, but don't you need a little bit of both to really be fully in control of how you live your life, how you process things that happen to you or the things that are happening around you?
Yes.
You talk about change. You're a change management expert.
Yeah.
But you got to have some kind of transition. You got to have some kind of psychological connection to everything.
Yes. When you go through change, it is shifting your mind to a new perspective. That is what it is. To transition successfully is to shift your mindset. It is a different thinking, okay? So that's why when William Bridges, who is like the change guru, he came up with this transition, what I call a transition bridge, but there's 3 phases to this transition, and it's like a hill. It's like a hill. You start off with the ending, and you start off with the ending because in order to change, you're leaving something behind. Not everything.
Yeah.
You're leaving something behind in order to transition to your new beginning on the other side. You got to go up this roller coaster. There's a middle piece, and there are emotions that happen in each one of those. There are activities that I'll take you through in each one of those because it is that shifting of your mind, because I'm going to shift the way you change that you look at things. Even just to write a clarity statement is different than how you think today. When I force you to think that way, it's like, by when are you going to do what? With whom do you need the support from? When we start challenging those things, and when you say, well, I'm going to get this support from this person, what do you want them to do exactly? What does that look like? So when you start digging in, that's the clarity. Then that helps you with your confidence. Then that helps you with your commitment. Because you're not leaving without being committed now. We didn't do all of this for you not to be committed.
Right.
So accountability and ownership.
I was just about to ask you, how do you keep them accountable?
Accountability and ownership. So at a retreat, for instance, you get assigned right there. You have homework when you leave. And then we recap in 30 days. And that is accountability. Accountability also comes because I also offer programs that if you're struggling a little bit with accountability, I can be a service that's ongoing. And so I offer one-on-ones, I offer group coaching, so that I am always there. And the cohort, the graduates are always there as well. You make phenomenal networking opportunities right there.
So you've got a built-in support group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's just for the retreats. I also offer the affirmations, for instance. But when you get an affirmation from me, you don't just get the affirmation and say thank you. You get a set of instructions instructions on what to do with this and how to carry it out. And then again, I'll check back in with you in 30 days. It takes a while for something to become a habit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. And if it were easy, we would all be doing it. But anyone who
all be
knows me,
perfect.
yes, right? That's why I'm here.
Right.
Anybody who knows me knows that I will every day say, have you done your affirmation today? Even my mother. My mother is doing it. My grandmother is doing an affirmation.
We're all mothers. We're all women. We're all leaders. We just get bogged down by so many different things. And a lot of what you're talking about is things we've grown up knowing. Affirmations, I did those with my children when I was raising them. Everything you're talking about is just wisdom that we already know. How do we get so far away from that?
Because we are super women and life happens. That's it. Life happens. And it is okay. My father and my mother, without knowing it, affirmed me when I was young. You're great. You're beautiful.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
affirm you as you grow up. The Black family, it's amazing. And that's just how we've grown up. And other cultures, too, have their own way of really affirming their children. And I think what happens is that we get a cell phone, pure information at your fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
The bell rings. Your kid has to go to dance class. You got to do this. You're running in a million different directions. The pause of what we talked about. That is the difference. That's the difference. You don't have your mother or that accountability partner right on your backside saying, do this. That's it. Life happens.
You talk about the 5 steps to renewing you. What are they? The 5 steps to renewing you.
Yes. So 5 steps is the first one is managing change. Okay. Managing your transition. A lot of folks think that you manage the change, but you lead yourself through change by managing the transition itself. The transition is what we can control. That's what we talked about earlier. That's what we can control. The change has already happened. It's here. You're not going to change that.
So change is a situation that you're already in. It's already happened.
It's done.
Now you've got to transition
Yes.
through that change, and that's where you take control of it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's step 1.
Step 1 is that. The second step is being free. I want you to be free. It starts off with the creed that I just said a piece of it to you, but then we internalize that. We talk step by step on that. It talks about fear. It talks about knowing what your fears are, embracing them, but yet holding them at bay.
Yeah, because you have to believe that you can get this done, that you really can transition.
Yes. Believe in your strengths is the first part of the creed, because you've got to know your strengths first and foremost and believe them. Trust them. They're real. They're yours. You have to own them. When we get through that, that's the second step. And as you can see, it's emotional because it's be free. B-E-F-R-E-E. Each of those are directional. And I do a lot of instructional acronyms, if you've seen that online. And it's because I provide instructions based on acronyms. It's my thing. I love it. And it's very helpful for people to be able to internalize that.
And remember that, yeah. Here's a sample of one of your acronyms that I found on the web.
Women's History Month. I'm so excited. So today's instructional acronym is all about HER, all about her. H is for hold on. Hold on to those strong women that are in your lives that go over and beyond every single day. Let them know what they've done that has been over and beyond, things that you appreciate, even the small things. Let them know, especially this month. E is for experiences. Share the experiences of positive women, whether it be in entertainment, in your family. Share them with your children, your loved ones, your co-workers, and let them know the positive experiences that you have had as a result of the strong women in your lives. And R is for respect. Always show respect for women, for everybody. Be intentional, be deliberate, and make sure that you are respecting every single woman that you come in contact with. HER.
Yes. Step 3 is all about designing with intent. Okay? You want to, after you're free, you want to design with intent. You want to take what you've learned and be intentional in those moments. You want to drive that clarity, right? You want to know and believe and trust that your design is going to be A-okay. Okay? You want to build that support system. When you leave from my program, you actually have a tangible takeaway if you go through the program itself, and you will see a structure that you've built because it's yours. This is your space that you're going to own. You start from the foundation. You build up your pillars. You build up your mountains, and that is yours. Okay? Yeah. So the next is really getting clear. CLEAR is another acronym, but it's really designed around how are you going to action this out now? Because it's good to talk about it, but we're about to be about it. And
inevitably, you're going to slip, fall.
Absolutely.
Got to get back up. How do you stay motivated? How do you stay in it?
Because it's just not you. When you're transitioning through any change, it's not just you going through that. We are not a solo team. We are not a solo team.
We're back to the support.
You
That's
have
right.
support.
The network.
There is accountability. There is ownership. There is support. And you are going to let them know in the beginning what you need them for. They're on this ride with you, especially if you're married, if you have children. When you're going through something, they are too. And we oftentimes forget about the fact that this new job you have, it's affecting them too.
Yeah.
We got to talk to them about that stuff.
It's the ripples.
Yes.
It's the ripples.
It's the dominoes.
Yeah, it's the dominoes.
We are not in here alone.
Yeah.
You know, we're not in it alone. And so, and the last one, so those are 4. And then the last one really is maintaining and sustaining exactly what you talked about.
Right.
How are we going to maintain and sustain this thing? Right?
Yeah, because I'm sure I'm like most women.
Yeah.
And I start with the best intentions, and then life happens again.
Yes.
Something gets in the way. I get derailed, and then I get discouraged, and I may not want to get back on that train.
Yeah. You don't have a choice because now you've engaged all of these people and they are in it with you.
Yeah.
So the days you fall, they're there to pick you up. That's what support looks like. You know, every 2 weeks, I create a 2-week plan, which is actually part of the program. And in it, every week, there's a clarity statement, GAPS, gaps. And did it at the retreat as well with 2 other phenomenal women. We haven't gotten into the retreat yet, but I'll talk to you about that. And you start with your goal. Up front, you have to know where you're going. You have to vision it. You have to write it. You have to document it and keep it in front of you. I have to pass it every single day.
So that's why vision boards are so important.
Yes.
It's like a daily, constant reminder. I haven't done a vision board since my daughter was probably like 7.
Well, it is time. And let me tell you, really, there's science behind imagery and visioning.
Yeah, because I never really bought into it. I did it with her because she had to do it as an assignment, but I've never done one for myself.
It is time.
It's time.
See, that's why I'm here. God puts us in places and spaces.
That's so funny. But tell me about the vision board. Why is that so important?
It is important because, one, you see it. There is science behind it. So the neurons in your brain really connect the imagery with action. It tells you that you're doing this stuff. And so let's put it on paper. Let's affirm it. Let's believe it. Let's achieve it. And we'll do that. So the process of vision boarding, you know, I've seen a lot. I've been to a couple vision board events over the course of time. And it's not just putting pretty pictures on or quotes on. It is a process. And so when I take you through Visioning and Beyond is what I call my events. When I take you through Visioning and Beyond, not only do we start with facilitation, but we start with meditation. We start with then having a guided discussion about how you think and what you're going to do so you can move distractions out of your way and really focus. Some of the things when you start looking in these books, you're not going to know why you're tearing out this stuff. It's okay. I don't want you to even think about it. But then we're going to come back and you're going to put this board together and then I'm going to have you talk about it. And then I do a workshop because I don't want you to just leave there. I want to talk to you about going beyond action planning. What are you going to do? It's all about the action.
So tell me about all of the services that you offer.
Yeah.
You've mentioned retreats, you've mentioned workshops and private practice.
Yes, one-on-one.
Tell me what else do you do?
All right. So I have an online course, 5 women,
Wow.
well, 5 to 10 women. 5 to 10 women. I like to keep everything intimate and small. I firmly believe that the one-on-one interactions is where the power is. It is where the power of connection, the power of women bonding, that is where you get your all. And that is how you become super great. That's how you reach your greatness. So I do, that's a 5-week course, 5 to 10 women.
Okay.
And I take you through those 5 steps that we just talked about with the exercises to do that and then the follow-up. I'll also bring in a couple of experts depending on when the class is taking place where we'll talk about really your mind, body, and soul. And so I am helping you through your mind and your soul, but I'll bring in somebody to really talk about the body. So it could be somebody to talk about food. For instance, I partner with the Ambrosia Food Group.
What about sleep? Sleep deprivation. I'm so sleep deprived.
Yes, and why you need your 8 hours of sleep, how you get that in the course
that's the question.
of a visit. Yes.
Yeah. How?
Because you pause.
There
When
go
you
again.
take your moments,
That's right.
because you prioritize you. You have to prioritize you, and you might not get all 8, but you're very intentional when you go to bed. You're very intentional when you go to bed to leave your phone off or downstairs, so you're not being bothered. There are things you can do in order to make your time that you're able to sleep really productive and fruitful, to fuel you, to nourish you. The class is called Eat, Change to Nourish You. Embrace, act, and thrive. Eat, change to nourish you. And it's all about pausing.
But Lolita, it almost sounds a little selfish because, again, if you are a mother or a caretaker or you have responsibilities and obligations, you can't just put them on hold.
Yes.
You can't just turn them off.
Yes.
How?
Dr. Sophia Ramon, a psychiatrist that does some of the retreats with me, reminded me, self-love is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish. If you wear yourself into the ground, who you being helpful with for?
You're right.
When you get on an airplane, what do they say? Before you help somebody near you, put your oxygen mask on first. There is a reason for that. You need to take care of yourself before you can help anyone
Anybody else. That's
Absolutely.
true. Yeah.
Take your moments. It doesn't mean that you're not taking care of them. It doesn't mean, hey, I can't talk to you right now, I'm taking my moments. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that.
You mean I can't say that?
No, you can, but not because Lolita Walker told you to do that. Yeah, absolutely. These are your moments, and it's okay to need a pause.
That's Lolita Walker, Change Champion for Women, dedicated to helping each woman become phenomenal by embracing what is uncomfortable, acting with authority and accountability, and thriving in the greatness that is unique to her and her alone.
I am an American woman because I am free to simply be. I am a WOMAN. I am a warrior who is birthed from generations of love, of strength, of determination. I am a product of the ancestors who have paved my way. I am an occupier of the land that they built, and one that our military protects every day. I am the mother of a strong Black male, one whose greatness will not be defined by what others cannot yet see. I am an affirmer of my worth. I am strong, I am unique, I am special, I am me. I am next to reach that pinnacle that God has set for me. I am an American woman, a WOMAN, and I am Lolita E. Walker.
If you'd like to speak with Lolita about how to best manifest positive change in your life, visit LolitaWalker.com. That's it for Just Like Us. I'm Madelyne Woods. Have a wonderful Sunday. We'll be back next week.